Hey, good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. I am your host, BKP. Okay, where do we start? You know, I've come in here many times and asked, put the winning up. Put the winning, the picture that says winning, okay? I've asked many times, I said to myself many times, where do I start, okay? Are you tired of winning? Are you? I mean, I went to social media last night before I went to bed at 7:30, if you must know. I can't stay up. Night before last, I was out partying with a bunch of Republicans. I mean, this is a true story, all the way down at IHOP. You know how we drink coffee late at night. And so night before last, I'm out late, and then the storms, which I have a dog that paces the floor and lets me know there's thunder within 10 miles. I mean, this dog knows there's thunder rolling within 10 miles. So that being said, it wasn't a very restful evening. So last night I said, I'm just going to bed. I'm going to bed. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to bed. So, but I was exhausted, not from partying with Republicans drinking coffee at an IHOP. Not from the storms. I was exhausted from winning yesterday. I actually was on social media, and there was people that were saying they were exhausted from winning. I mean, yesterday. I mean, hey, God, I was so exhausted. I said, I can't take this anymore. I said, I will have, when he goes to North Dakota, the President of the United States goes to North Dakota, I will not be able to take that much winning. I mean, because there was 6,000 people. Now, so I got up at 3:30. Yes, that's what I do. That's what I do. So I watched the North Dakota rally at 3:30 this morning. I watched it at 3:30 because I needed to extend the winning to just another day. Dems are spinning. Oh, my God, they've gone crazy. Oh, put up, did I send you Maxine? Put up the new face of the Democrat Party. That's what Trump said, Maxine Waters. Put her up there. He said Heidi Heidenkamp, we'll get to that in a minute, but I just want to put it up there because I loved it. He said Heidi Heidenkamp was right in line. No, not Heidi. I want Maxine. I want the new face of the Democrat Party. We'll get to Heidi in a minute. Thank you, Amit. Are you sure? There's a betting. I like that when there's a wager. Anyhow, I may not have sent it, but you can leave Heidi up there till you find me the new face. Get that old, the one where she looks like a leather catcher's mitt. I wasn't racist. I mean, she just looks like a leather catcher's mitt. I don't know. So anyhow, President Trump's over there in North Dakota, folks, and he is saying that Heidi Heidenkamp, in line with Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and the new face of the Democrat Party, Maxine Waters. Oh, Maxine, she's a beauty. That's what he said. That Maxine, she's a beauty, right? So, anyhow, they are going to use the Maxine Waters in campaigning. I mean, Maxine gave them. And then he said Joe Crowley got his ass kicked. I loved it. He says, this guy Joe Crowley was mean to me in New York. You know, he's not so tough anymore. He got his ass kicked. All right? I love it. So anyhow, so I could not continue the winning streak last night. Had to go on to bed. Had to save a little of it so I could win today. Now, the Supreme Court, let's go over just a couple things. It's spitting their head off, okay? Now, put up the picture of Justice Anthony Kennedy, all right? And the reason I didn't pull a picture of Justice Anthony Kennedy, and I should have, in Ronald Reagan. In fact, could you pull me a picture of Justice Kennedy and Ronald Reagan, Amanda? Amanda does such a great job. I mean, sometimes, you know, it appears out there that I'm mean to her, but I'm not really mean. You know me better than that. So Justice Anthony Kennedy and Donald Trump. Now, there's a couple things. Anthony Kennedy has given the conservatives a very good session in court. I know we could make the whole list of things that Anthony Kennedy went down and joined the left, went to the left, went moderate, whatever you want to call him. But his ending, okay, his last Supreme Court session was about as conservative as it could be. Just about. I know you're yelling, well, what about gay marriage, and what about this, and what about that? Easy. I understand. But if we're asking for anything, and I do think, my personal opinion, is Donald Trump, he was there with Donald Trump. Donald Trump revigorated the court, okay? And there's a couple things. I can't see that. Who is that? Is it? I can't see across the room. Thank you. So Ronald Reagan appointed Justice Anthony Kennedy. Okay? And that's a Republican. And Donald Trump, he's going out with a Republican. So here's what I think. This is just what I think. Anthony Kennedy watched Donald, one, he was appointed by a Republican. So probably as a loyalist, he feels a Republican should get an opportunity to fill his seat, whether he agrees with the next Supreme Court justice or not. I pretty much think that. They try to let the party that nominated them, when they retire, renominate a justice. That's what they try. So that's number one. Two, he has looked, whether they tell you or not, he has looked at the list of possible Supreme Court justice to replace him that President Donald Trump has released. Now, you can go on, don't listen to any of the media. You can go on to the White House website, okay? You can go out to the White House website, and President Donald J. Trump has released a full list of Supreme Court possible Supreme Court justice. They're all on there, where they're from, if they're on the court right now anywhere, and you can do your own research on the Supreme Court. It's not like in the past where you guess who's going to come out. You guess, you start hearing the media start saying these are the top picks, and you have a day or two to look into these judges, and you don't know if they're going to turn out to be Souter, if they're going to turn out to be, you know, Justice Kennedy, who they're going to turn out to be. Sandra Day O'Connor, you have no idea. But this list is on the White House website, and you can start researching. So when anybody is picked, okay, let's say Keith Blackwell of Georgia, he's on the Supreme Court of Georgia, okay? So before anybody is picked, you can start researching everybody on there, and you will know their background. Now, that's why the media hates it, because they can't manipulate who you're getting. You can do your own research. So Ronald Reagan appointed him. He's retiring with President Trump, but I will tell you this. I feel strongly that serving a session of the court on the bench with Neil Gorsuch has given him the confidence he needed to say, it's time I could step down. That's my personal belief. That Kennedy said, I can trust Donald J. Trump. Because you got to understand, as spastic as the media wants to make Trump, and you got to realize that you're probably even Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the Supreme Court Justice, very reserved people, okay? You know, we have Ruth Bader Ginsburg has made some comments, but still yet, they get concerned with the rhetoric that happens, and they try to stay away from the politics and leave it alone. But if you're a Supreme Court justice and you're reading in the media on a daily basis how spastic Donald Trump is and how he will make just an irrational decision, he just will not take the advice. I mean, one MSNBC or Washington Post or New York Times report is President Trump will not take the advice of his advisors. President Trump just, you know, they're all running for cover because he'll just say anything and do anything. They didn't know this was coming. All right. So that discourse, okay, unorganized White House that the media would lead you to believe is there, okay, a Supreme Court justice would be very concerned on what would happen. They take it very serious. See, they, for the most part, they see that seat on the bench as your seat. And it is. Every seat on the bench belongs to the American people. They are there for no other reason but to serve the American people. That's it. Okay? Period. They take that serious, and when they leave that seat, the decision in retiring surrounds who will get that seat. They have to feel comfortable. They have to know the president is going to make the appointment, and they have to have some idea of which direction the president's going to go. Kennedy is satisfied with letting Trump have a second pick after seeing what Neil Gorsuch did in this last term. So that's number one. Number two, yesterday, the Supreme Court dealt a blow to government unions. All right? Now, they dealt a blow to government unions, and I want you to put up, Amanda, a photo that I think I sent you that said Union Democrat contributions. Okay? So here's what happens in the federal government, a lot of state government, don't get this wrong, local municipalities, firefighter, you become a firefighter, just national organized unions. Here's what happened. Did I send that to you? It says Union Democrat contributions. Okay? I sent you 3 emails this morning. So just double check. No, I sent 3. You found it? Okay, that's no big deal. That's no big deal. All right, so the unions, you become, you work for the federal government. You work for a government agency somewhere, and you go in and you do your paperwork. And they say to you when you're doing your paperwork, would you like to join the union? And you say, no, I don't want to be a part of the union. Okay, you don't want to be a part of the union. Well, what is this, $25 a week for? Okay, well, that's your union dues. Well, I told you I didn't want to join the union. Oh, it doesn't matter. You don't have to really join. But they're still taking that. Well, I don't want it. Well, you can get fired for it. You can be fired. But I don't want to be in the union. You don't have to officially be in the union if you don't want. Well, then I don't want to give them my $25 a week. That's gas money. I don't want to give $100 a month to a union. You have no choice. Well, guess what? Supreme Court dealt a blow to government unions. Okay? Government unions. In a blow to organized labor, the United States Supreme Court ruled Thursday that government workers who choose not to join a union cannot be charged for the cost of collective bargaining. Okay, you get a fee. The vote was 5-4. Justice Samuel Alito wrote the majority opinion, with the court's conservators joining him. Under Illinois law, it was an Illinois case, but that's not the big blow that was dealt. It was big, but wait. The Illinois law, public employees are forced to subsidize a union, even if they choose not to join and strongly object to the position of union takes in collective bargaining and related activities, Alito wrote. We conclude that this arrangement violates the free speech rights of non-members by compelling them to subsidize private speech no matter of the substantial public concern. All right? So, but what does that do? Who does that really hurt? How about the Democrats and their fundraising? Now leave that on the screen. All right? Unions, these are public sector unions. Public sector unions, okay? Public employee unions, Supreme Court represents workers at every level of government, federal, state, and local, since contract negotiations for these workers are dependent not on private corporations, but on the size of government budgets. Your government money. So you work for a government budget union, you get taxpayer money, and it goes to the Democrats. Pay attention, right? Since contract negotiations of these workers are dependent not on private corporations but on the size of government budgets, this is one segment of the labor movement that can usually contribute directly to the people with ultimate possibility for its livelihood. While their given pattern matches that of other unions, which overwhelmingly support Democrats, public sector unions also concentrate contributions on members of Congress, both parties, who sit on committees that deal with the federal budget and agencies. So this union is a federal budget union. I mean, your federal budget is their collective bargaining. The bigger they can get the budget, the more money they get from the workers, and then the workers could give to the Democrats. That is it. You work for the federal government somewhere, you're in the union, they tell you you have to send $100 a month. That's your tax money. They get paid. Okay, that's how they get their paycheck. And then it gets diverted over to, it is the biggest scam that's been run in America for a long time. All right, top contributors in 2017 and 18, American Federation of Teachers, $6,642,732. American Federation of State, City, Municipal Employees, $5,282,418. That all went to Democrats. All went to Democrats. This is top contribution, went to Democrats. The third one, National Education Association, $2 million, all right? $2,317,298. American Federation of Government Employees, $1,874,434. International Association of Firefighters, okay? $1,569,739. The Postal Workers Union, the National Active and Retired Federal Employee Association, National Rural Letter Carriers Association, National Association of Postal Supervisors, Federal Aviation Administration, $175,000. National Weather Service Employees, California School Employees Association. The list goes on. Now, the contributions, you can look these up yourself. Public sector unions, go to opensecrets.org. Opensecrets.org. Now, why is that a blow? Those are all contributions. Now, it does not mean that these unions will no longer contribute to the Democrats in the millions and millions of dollars. It's just they won't be able to contribute as much. This is a blow right in their fundraising. I mean, they expect big money out of these unions this year to help take back the House, to help win the Senate, to help save the Supreme Court. Big money they're expecting. This is a big blow, period. Big blow, all right? Because the Democrats get this money from you, actually the taxpayers, through forcing it, okay? Through forcing it, laundering. This is money laundering right to Democrat candidates through a union. Now, that being said, the Supreme Court justices, we're going to keep this together for a minute because this is a Supreme Court decision. So the Supreme Court decision has put some senators in a bad box, Kennedy retiring, all right? Let's just go over a couple senators, and then we're going to come back and piece this together. It's one of those kind of days, all right? We got to piece this together because the winning is enormous. Put up I'm going to do this one first. Put up Bob Casey, okay? Okay, Bob Casey is the senator from Pennsylvania that is being challenged by Lou Barletta, if you want to put him up. Now, Bob Casey has dropped the junior off his name. He's Bob Casey Jr. He's doing everything he can, senator from Pennsylvania, to ride his father's coattails, which was a very popular governor. And here's Lou Barletta. Lou Barletta is a congressman that is running against Casey. So, Casey's in a box on Supreme Court if he doesn't pass support the Supreme Court justice. There's a lot of red in that state that will come out against him. That's not the big one, okay? Claire McCaskill, all right? Supreme Court Justice, Claire McCaskill in Missouri. Major box, all right? Did you find her? Claire McCaskill's in a major box out in Missouri. She's been put in a box with Kennedy. There's Claire. Okay. Heidi Heidenkamp. Is she in North or South Dakota? Anyhow, Heidi Heidenkamp. All right? Heidi Heidenkamp. Joe Donnelly. We'll find Joe Donnelly. There he is. Joe Manchin, he's Indiana. Joe Donnelly, Indiana. Joe Manchin, West Virginia. Now there's a picture of Joe and the president. Joe Manchin, West Virginia. Last but not least, Sherrod Brown, Ohio. Okay, what do they all have in common? They're up for re-election. A. B. We're very close with Republicans of getting to the 60 mark. Very close to getting to the 60 mark. C, if that's what I'm up to, all these senators are in states that Donald Trump won. Regardless if it's a narrow margin in Pennsylvania, regardless of the margin, Donald Trump won all of these states. And one of the reasons he won these states is Supreme Court. And the best thing that Donald Trump did was put a list out of his possible nominees. So they say he will. Mitch McConnell says they'll have hearings on the next on the next Supreme Court justice that the president picks in October before the election. But these people are in a box. They don't vote for the Supreme Court nominee. They got a problem back home. Now, we're going to piece that together. I'm going to piece in why I think the president should pick this one particular judge. We're going to keep winning because it's nonstop. I'm going to get an opportunity to enjoy, and I say this with humility because, see, that's what we're looking for. Judicial humility. Right? Do you understand judicial humility? That's what we're looking for. We're also going to tell you about what the court means to Donald Trump now as opposed to when he was running for office and when he actually became president and appointed Neil Gorsuch. What's it mean to him now? Will his time in office, the appointment of Neil Gorsuch, change his thoughts on the Supreme Court? We're going to talk about that. And the fact, I humbly say I was right about something yesterday. I put it out there. It is now already have become true. And obviously, who else but MSNBC to do it for me? I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a brief break. We'll be right back. We're going to stay on the Supreme Court. Winning, Peter Strzok, you name it. We got it. Take us a break.
The Tupelo Tea Mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelot.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Better days ahead. Yellow pollen means green cash at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. The spring savings event is on at Days, and the discounts are deep. Now save up to $11,000 off select new 2018 Chevy Silverados, or up to $6,000 off select new 2018 Equinox. Pick any Chevy you want and save a bunch during the spring savings event going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?